During the final days of the Battle of the Bulge, 22-year-old US Army Signal Corps photographer Hugh McHugh took these photographs as he followed the US 7th Armored Division in its advance on the Belgian town of Saint Vith. In this specific photograph, just taken outside of the town, we can see a soldier giving a final glimpse at the camera. The Battle of the Bulge was a German counter-offensive against American lines in the Ardennes sector in Belgium and Luxembourg. It started on December 16, 1944. It was intended to stop the Allied use of the Belgian port of Antwerp and to split the Allied lines, allowing the Germans to encircle and destroy 4 Allied armies and force the Western Allies to negotiate a peace treaty in the Axis powers' favor. However, things did not go according to plan, as stubborn resistance from American troops all over the Ardennes front and the quick reaction by both British and American troops halted the advance. As a result, it formed a bulge in the Allied front lines. It wasn't until January 25, 1945 that the Battle of the Bulge was officially over and the American front lines were close to being restored to its original state of December 16, 1944. Hugh McHugh was a 20-year-old student from New York City when he was drafted into the US Army in 1943. We cannot really tell whether he was assigned to become a combat photographer or signed up to be a combat photographer for the US Army Signal Corps. His personnel records were burned in the fire at the archives in 1973. What we do know is that he was assigned to the 165th Signal Photographic Company in July of 1944, after the unit had landed in Normandy. The 165th Signal Photographic Company was part of the US 1st Army, and it was McHugh's job to take photographs of its units on the front lines. Today we're going to honor him by walking in his footsteps as we trace the locations in the photographs that he took on his last day.
So we're here in the town of Saint Vith, Belgium, which played an important role during the Battle of the Bulge. The reason why we're here is that on January 23, 1945, Hugh F. McHugh took this photograph of some troops of the 7th Armored Division here in Saint Vith. We can see a Sherman tank and we can see some buildings in the back. So what we can see here is the buildings in front of us. We can see the corner there of the bakery, which is not here in the photograph because it was not built, but everything else is still, the houses are still the same structure, but of course the windows changed a little bit, but the balcony is still the correct spot and these are still correct. This building here is most significant with how it looks today. And if you follow me, I can show you why it matches, because here in the street of Saint Vith, they actually have old photographs visible in the town, and we have a signpost here. This is even an older picture from the 1920s in which we can see the building and the facade. Everything here matches up with the door, the balcony, and that is why we were able to actually confirm that it was actually this building, even though it changed a lot in 2023, of course, that this is the correct spot where the tank and the guys are sitting in the streets. So this is incredible. Here in the footsteps of Hugh F. McHugh.
2 days after taking this photograph, the 23rd Armored Infantry Battalion of the 7th Armored Division approached the village of Wallerode, just northeast of Saint Vith. Hugh McHugh was assigned to take photographs of the unit together with motion picture cameraman Irvin D. Coos.
So we have an incredible photograph here of troops of the 23rd Armored Infantry Battalion, 7th Armored Division, taken by Hugh McHugh, who was covering the advance of that battalion on January 25, 1945, together with his buddy Irvin D. Coos. Now, as you can see, there are some interesting features on the photograph: a barn in the back, a tower in the back, and the earth wall on the right. And we actually have this guy who's cutting the wire on the right. There's still a fence today. We have some more incredible details on the photograph. As I said, the tower, but also the tree visible in the back that is currently still standing there, obviously much bigger as it's 79 years later. And it's just, wow, look at it. The photograph is amazing, and we're standing right there. We're now walking in the footsteps of these guys and in the footsteps of Hugh Francis McHugh. So let me take a then and now photograph. All right, it's time to meet up with the owner of the castle. He's going to be able to help us to find the location of where Hugh Francis McHugh took his final photograph.
Karl von Frübus lives in a castle down the road. 2 years ago he organized an exposition about our photographer Hugh Francis McHugh and might be able to help us to find the exact location of his final photograph.
Meneer van Frübus.
Meneer van Meesen,
Goeiedag. Hallo, wat een mooie plek. Volgens mij kunt u mij wat vertellen over McHugh.
Ja, dit is die plaats waar McHugh een uur voor zijn overleden geweest is. Hij heeft hier meerdere foto's gepakt en heeft daar zijn laatste foto genomen voor hij van een Duitse scherpschütze sniper doodgeschoten was. Ja, in het principe is het hier begonnen.
Mr. von Frübus renovated his horse stable in 2020 when he discovered the American names that were inscribed on the wall.
Ik zie Nelson Hall, Lepley Porter.
Ik heb eerst gedacht dat het de familienaam was en de voornaam. Maar dat is niet zo. Ieder naam is een familienaam.
Ah, oké.
Zo. En als je zum Beispiel Nelson en Hall, dat zijn namen die komen in de Amerikaanse armee 19.000, 20.000 maal voor. Heb je geen kans te vinden iets te vinden. Maar we hebben kans gehad, die naam Gizi was alleen 7 keer in de Amerikaanse armee. En dan hebben ze uitgesloten, want de ene was in Pacific, die andere was bij de Airborne. En zo zijn ze dan uitsluitend in het einde bij Vern Gizi gebleven. En ze hebben de dochter van die Gizi gevonden. En die heeft hem verteld dat Gizi in Europa was bij een anti-aircraft division. En dan hebben ze gevonden wat dat voor een uniteit was. En zo zijn ze dan hier naar Wallerode gekomen.
En dit is Vern?
Ja, dat is deze, juist.
Bijzonder.
Mr. von Frübus stumbled upon the photographs of Hugh Francis McHugh as he was researching the names on the wall. As a native of Wallerode, he was able to locate where his photographs were taken. Today, he is going to take us to the place where Hugh McHugh took his final photograph.
Ja, deze foto is van daarboven gepakt, uit die venster. En dan heb je een overzicht. En die andere foto is meer nabij gepakt. Maar die panzer die was daar beneden, van beneden naar boven.
So, we have this incredible photo of a burning Panzer, German tank, and the barn is right here in front of us. The photo was taken from the window in that building over there, but unfortunately we cannot enter the house as there's people living there. But we can see the church of Wallerode in the background. And we see a burning Panzer and it's taken right here. Perhaps we can get a better view.
You can see the destruction from the house here.
Oh yeah. One of the photos taken by McHugh on his last day.
Ja, het moest zo gepakt zijn, het foto, zoiets.
Like that. Wow, look at the photo of the Panzer tank, German tank, that is in the corner of the building. We saw the previous photo where we saw the burning Panzer right here in the corner of this house. Now we're standing at the bottom and boom, we have a close look, a close-up shot. And so yeah, this is just the same building that we saw in the previous photo, the same burning tank, but a close-up shot of it, and another photo taken by Hugh McHugh. So we just came from the road where the pictures were taken with the soldiers walking down that hill. And now, because McHugh, after he took those photos, he came back here, went around up the hill because the soldiers were going down to Wallerode from that hill. So what we're doing now, Mr. von Frubus is going to take us to the final location where the last photograph was taken of McHugh, and we're going to try and reconstruct the photo with today.
Die huizen daar, die existeerden niet.
Ja.
En dan heb je hebt de kerk juist hier zo. En die mestplaats hier,
Ja?
die heb ik nog gekend, die was hier.
Ah.
Kijk, en wij dachten eerst, het was meer boven,
Ja, ja.
maar die mestplaats hier,
Ja.
achter bovenuit is geen mestplaats meer
Ah,
geweest.
ja, ja, ja.
Die was hier. En zo het plaats van dat foto is exact hier.
Wauw.
Maar die boom
Ja?
is deze daar.
Wauw.
En hier heb je een stroomleiding,
Ja.
die gaat naar beneden naar dat huis, maar die existeert niet meer.
Ja.
Die is weggenomen worden in die 80e
ja,
jaar.
ja.
En dat is exact hier waar dat foto gepakt is.
And wow, this matches up. We walked all around. We went all around Wallerode, but we could not match it up with the terrain. And this is actually where we can match it up. So the guys that came just around from the little castle came back here. I mean, McHugh came back here, and now he's advancing with the guys from the 23rd Armored Infantry Battalion. Boom, down to Wallerode. And shortly after taking this photograph, this guy is watching him. McHugh got hit by a sniper bullet in the face, was instantly killed.
So that's the last picture he took.
This is the last picture that he took. Shortly after taking this photo, McHugh was hit by a sniper bullet in the face, instantly killed. And Koos, the motion picture cameraman, retrieved his camera.
Ja, exact.
And
by this action, he was by the same sniper. He was bullet, and he was by the colleagues was taken and they goes in the hospital.
okay, yeah, so he was taken to the rear and transferred, taken to the hospital. And that is how McHugh's pictures were saved and published many years later, and still today are visible. For many people that are interested in World War II and study the Battle of the Bulge, they can now see his photographs.
This is an iconographic photo from the World War II.
Yeah, I think so too. And we're right here.